The Battle of Kepler Station should have been humanity's finest hour. Outnumbered 20-1 by the swarm, a hive mind species consuming everything in its path, human and Vorthani forces held the line together. Brothers in arms, they called each other, until the Vorthani fleet jumped away mid-battle, leaving humanity's ships to die. Captain Elena Rodriguez watched the tactical display in horror as their allies' signatures vanished. Vorthani command, "What are you doing?" "We had a plan." Emperor Caxtor's smug face appeared on screen. "Plans change, human. The swarm offered us a deal, your worlds for our safety. You've served your purpose as bait. Die well." The transmission cut. 300 human ships faced 5,000 swarm vessels alone. They won anyway, not through firepower or numbers, but through desperation and ingenuity. They turned their own ships into weapons, ramming swarm command nodes. They overloaded reactors, creating miniature novas. They fought with the fury of the betrayed and the condemned. When the dust settled, 47 human ships limped home. The swarm retreated, bloodied and confused, and Earth's government convened in absolute silence. Total war? Someone suggested. No, President Chun said quietly. Something worse. We're going to dismantle their empire without firing a shot. The Vorthani celebrated their clever betrayal. The humans were weakened, the swarm satisfied with human colonies to consume. Emperor Caxtor had played both sides perfectly. Then the economic reports started coming in. "Your Majesty," his treasurer reported, antennae twitching nervously. "The humans have withdrawn from all trade agreements. So, we don't need their primitive goods. Sire, they were our primary suppliers of rare earth elements, and food, and medical supplies, and find other suppliers. We're trying, but the humans are offering better prices to our competitors. They're also calling in all debts immediately." Caxtor's compound eyes narrowed. "How much do we owe them?" 40% of our GDP, Majesty." It got worse. Human diplomats visited every Vorthani ally, sharing detailed recordings of the betrayal at Kepler Station. Not accusations or threats, just facts, presented with disappointed sadness. "We thought we could trust them," Ambassador Williams told the Melody Collective. "We were wrong. Just wanted you to know, in case you ever find yourself fighting alongside them." One by one, defensive pacts with the Vorthani were quietly cancelled. Trade routes shifted. Military exercises were postponed indefinitely. But the real blow came from within. Lieutenant Vexera had fought alongside humans before the betrayal. She'd seen them share their last rations with wounded Vorthani soldiers, seen them risk their lives for alien comrades. The betrayal at Kepler made her sick. She wasn't alone. A third of the Vorthani military had served with humans at some point. They'd learned human tactics, yes, but also human values. Honor, loyalty, the idea that your word meant something. The resignations started slowly, then became a flood. Entire battalions refused deployment orders. Military academies saw enrollment drop by 80%. "Why should we fight for an empire without honor?" Vexera asked publicly before turning in her commission. The Vorthani's client states smelled blood in the water. Without military might to enforce tribute, without trade to sustain their economy, without allies to support them, the empire began to crack. Rebellion sparked on Proxima 7. Then Kepler's Hope. Then a dozen other worlds. Each time the Vorthani fleet arrived to restore order, they found human humanitarian ships already there, distributing food and medical supplies to civilians. "We're not involved in local politics," the human captains would say innocently, "just helping those in need." The supplies came with newspapers, history books, stories of successful independence movements. Purely educational, of course. Emperor Caxtor's final council meeting was held in a dimming throne room, power fluctuations making the lights flicker. Half his advisors had fled, the other half plotted against him. "How?" he demanded. "We have the larger fleet, the older empire. How are the humans doing this?" His last loyal advisor, old ZYXTEL, sighed. Because, Majesty, you betrayed the only species in the galaxy that actually wanted to be our friend. They didn't destroy our military, they made our own soldiers ashamed to serve. They didn't conquer our worlds, they showed them they didn't need us. They didn't attack our economy, they simply stopped participating in it. We can rebuild. With what trust? Who will trade with oathbreakers? Who will ally with betrayers? The humans didn't need to fire a shot, Majesty. They just had to tell the truth about what we did. Outside, protesters demanded the Emperor's abdication. Former client worlds declared independence daily. The Vorthani Empire, which had stood for 1,000 years, collapsed in less than 5 years later, when the Vorthani applied for membership in the new Galactic Alliance as a single planet instead of an empire, they found humans advocating for their inclusion. Everyone deserves a second chance, President Martinez said, but trust, once broken, must be earned back. The Vorthani were accepted eventually, but in their schools, they taught the fall of their empire as a cautionary tale. Power is nothing without honor. Strength is worthless without trust. And betraying humans doesn't lead to victory. It leads to them dismantling everything you've built, one disappointed look at a time.